Saturday night edition of From My Mother's Basement. I'm sorry, the show that celebrates being a geek. This is our special pre-Super Bowl edition, or Sports Bowl edition, rather. I am Michael.
I am Jason.
And we're here on a Saturday night because tomorrow is the Super Bowl, and we know that our whopping audience of 6 people, no, I'm sure we've got more than that, a lot of you are going to want to watch the football game. Some of one or half of this show may be wanting to watch the football game. So we're doing it on a Saturday night. Thank you for joining us.
Yes, thank you.
Yes, I see. That's kind of funny because if I had to pick a team, I would have picked Seattle.
Really?
Yeah.
So anyways, this has become a solo show now, so I hope you guys do very well.
I don't give a damn about their stats. I like Seattle.
Seattle's a great town. The times I've been in it has been entertaining and enjoyable.
I just generally love the Pacific Northwest. Yeah, I apologize for that brief flash of something. That was a figure that had come in that's a cast-off version. And so I was showing Jason the cast-off version of her. And yeah, that wasn't supposed to happen that way.
Oh, man. Well, it's been a shorter week than we usually get, but it's been, I'm sure, entertaining nonetheless in one form or another. Michael, what have you been up to?
Oh, work. I've got a new project I've been working on. I have to be hush-hush about it for now. But as time goes on, I will explain more.
Okay.
But other than that, just been, doing the work thing. Being really happy to have my my MacBook back.
That's gotta be nice.
And yeah, that's pretty much drooling over new toys.
I do not blame you. For me, aside from the usual work and trying to catch up on anime here and there, unfortunately, I ran into the problem that my Crunchyroll subscription ran out. It expired.
No.
So I was like, all right, I'm going to sit here and watch some anime, and why am I getting commercials? Son of...
So, did you renew it, or?
I will once I get paid. But I remembered, wait a minute, I have a Funimation subscription for a year. Awesome. So I was watching a lot of series that I never thought I would actually watch, and I'll get to that at the end of the show.
You know what? How much is a Crunchyroll subscription?
It's $100 a year.
Fuck. Okay.
Or if you break it down to the premium, which gives you access to all the anime, all the J and K drama, and the access to their manga, it's like $12 a month.
They have manga now?
Yeah, they had it for a while. It's actually pretty. It's a really good app too.
I did not know that.
They also do simulpubs as well. This episode is brought to you by Crunchyroll for no reason whatsoever.
Hey, at least it's not Disney. Oh wait, we're gonna get there.
Oh yes, it wouldn't be an episode if we weren't.
So, yeah. So this week has been the Santa Barbara Film Festival.
Cool. What?
I did not work it. I did not go to it.
Okay.
I just know that it was going, and I'm using that as a weak-ass segue to move into movie news.
Yeah.
There is some interesting shit that happened this week. Why don't you start us off, Jason?
Yeah. So we've talked about here and there about how Fox and Disney are always been fighting back and forth regarding the Marvel licenses.
Specifically, the XMen and
Spider-Man. And for a while, they were also fighting over the Fantastic Four franchise. Basically, it got to the point where it was Fox, I think, was Fox or Sony, that if they did not create something new, like a movie or a TV series within a certain time frame, they would automatically lose the license. So they came out a while ago and said, we're going to make a new movie. We're going to be a reboot. And my response to that was, I kind of liked the first one that they did back in the day.
Yeah, I mean, I get that they need to replace Johnny Storm because Johnny Storm is now Captain America. But that aside, I liked the cast.
It was a good cast.
And yeah, I admit I'm a Jessica Alba fan, but...
Problem?
Nothing on my side.
Exactly.
But, yeah, why they don't... Now, adding on to that, the first one was kitschy as hell.
It was, but you know what?
Let's be honest.
At the same time, though, you kind of need to have that kind of kitsch,
kitschy
sense
to do the
Fantastic Four.
But Michael Chiklis as Ben Grimm was genius casting.
Yes, it was, and not to mention the fact that they actually had a prop suit for him to wear.
Yeah, the fact that he wasn't CG.
That was brilliant.
And it actually looked pretty good.
It did. I was really, happy with that. No.
And Chiklis, like when he got that role, was thrilled because he was a big fan of that character.
Mm-hmm.
So it was all the better.
So when they come around and say we're gonna do a reboot, I'm like, okay.
Lack of imagination.
Hollywood's lost his damn mind.
Don't look at this cast and tell me they haven't.
Yeah, well, they did release the first trailer for it, so let's give that a shot, shall we?
Better than I expected.
Okay.
Why the hell aren't they going into space?
Well,
or are they doing a dimensional hop now?
They're doing
What?
dimensional hopping. They're not going into space.
Okay, so they're going the dimension route, which, okay. The way they laid that out, I think I could see how Johnny Storm can be African American.
Okay.
Either adopted or half brother. Especially given the African American actor who was doing the countdown and that voiceover. I recognize that voice. I recognize that face. What if he's, speculation, I don't know this, but what if he's the Storm's father?
It's always a possibility.
Her stepfather, his father.
Well, considering they're changing so much with this, as they're saying, a modern gritty retelling. I hate gritty. I hate the
gritty.
phrase
I'm
gritty.
so sick. I like gritty video, but Jesus Christ, guys, it's fucking comic books.
Well, I'll give it this though. The fact that at least the trailer is relying on a heavy sci-fi slant to it. They're not. Yeah. I'm digging that like Interstellar vibe to it.
I haven't seen Interstellar, but what I know of it, yeah.
Okay. I mean, yeah, they're already changing stuff instead of as it was in the comics, where the four go into space and get hit by cosmic rays. Now they're teleporting to an alternate and dangerous universe, and because of that, it alters their physical forms in shocking ways.
Okay, so wait a minute. They're teleporting to a universe and coming back, or
Yes.
are they going to that universe and staying there?
They're teleporting and coming back.
Okay.
And in that process,
it messes with their...
Exactly.
Why is the music from Devo's Mongoloid playing in my head right now? One chromosome too many?
Yeah,
anyway, sorry.
They're definitely getting that,
Okay,
almost like an Ark of the Covenant kind of thing to it.
What?
There's like almost an Ark of the Covenant kind of thing to this.
Ark of the Covenant, Tron.
Yeah.
Yeah, Star Trek: The Motion Picture. Seriously, that looks like the V'ger set.
V'ger.
And I'm willing to bet you that Ben Grimm is CG.
They're all gonna be CG. They've already confirmed that.
Who all?
Okay, so parts of their outfits and definitely Ben Grimm's character is 100% CG. So
well, I figured the Flame is.
Yeah, Flame is. Ben Grimm is going to be all CG, and in one of the recent interviews, they were just talking about how this looks amazing. The latest in advances of technology and mocap, and
I'm sure it's gorgeous.
But at the same time,
all the best special effects in the world isn't going to help a sucky movie.
Exactly. So, and again, with all this stuff, I'm kind of bashing it. I will give it props because it solves it doesn't do what many other trailers nowadays do. Give absolutely everything away in the first minute of a trailer.
Well, yeah. I will agree with that. Although that's starting to change a little bit. But you're right. Most trailers these days, why see the movie? You've seen the trailer. You know what's going on.
Exactly.
Interstellar did that, apparently. Interstellar threw some weird... Apparently there's some weird-ass twists in Interstellar that I wasn't aware of.
Yeah. Yeah. But I look at this and I'm like, I'll give it a shot. Although I'm still... I'm not even on the fence on this aspect of it, but the fact that they've changed Doom so much for this movie.
That's actually... I'm okay with that.
Really?
Yes. That design, visually,
okay.
I'm okay with.
No, this is just an image of Victor Von Doom.
Yeah. That image, that character design for like the changes they made in the mask, I'm down with that. That's okay. That's a logical progression to me.
What I'm just saying is that Doom
What's the storyline?
Okay. His name is Victor Domashev. He's
Oh,
not
that's right. I heard about
not
this.
Victor Von Doom. The Doom in this movie's universe, he's a programmer, a very antisocial programmer,
Jesus,
and
that's right. I
blogging
forgot
on
about this.
sites, calling himself Doom. Yeah.
Because nothing's more metal than meta. God.
I mean, I will say this though, that it was nice to see the I guess you can call it the homage to Akira in the trailer.
Oh yeah.
Because you see it in every single sci-fi movie, you always see that
So-
cityscape and then explosion echoing out. That all came from Akira. So
Yeah, that's a total Akira moment.
yeah, I do like that bit. Thankfully, we won't have to wait too long. Usually, when they create a teaser trailer like this, you're gonna have to wait well over a year to see it in theaters.
Yeah, they're slating for August 1st,
August 7th.
August 7th.
Yeah,
That's impressive. That means they're way more done than they were advertising.
exactly. Which means they've kept this under wraps for a significant amount of time.
Yeah,
You haven't
'cause
seen
we only
many in
first
terms
started
of
really
leaks.
hearing about it. What, 6 months ago?
About that, and that was just, hey, we have some casting, hey, we have some concept art, but by that point, going along this, either they had a ridiculously large crew working on the special effects, or they were working on this way beforehand, and they're just now slowly starting to release information.
Yeah, because usually for a movie of this magnitude, your first 6 months, 6 to 8 months, maybe even a year, is pre-production
Mm-hmm.
before even casting gets involved in some cases.
But see, then you get to some casting announcements that you just have to seriously question.
Yeah, and given the fact that Hollywood's liking to do so many damn reboots these days, I mean, okay, this one may be okay, but the other one, oh my God, why? Why are you rebooting Slimer and the Ghostbusters?
Yeah.
Why? And you're giving them boobs.
Yeah, because they announced the list for the female Ghostbusters. So anything you had in the background, you were thinking that maybe this is a continuation, maybe it's like some of their daughters or something like that. Man, that's probably all out the freaking window. So they announced the 4. So
At least they're keeping the ratio. That's about the only thing they're oh, and the logo. That's about the only thing they're keeping.
that's So okay. I have to say this though, that you're taking these 4 women, and I mean, granted, a lot of them actually have
3 of them are actually good actresses.
Kristen Wiig, Melissa McCarthy. I'm forgetting the other 2 right now. My bad. Leslie Jones and Kate McKinnon.
Yeah.
And okay, Megan McCarthy's blowing up nowadays. She's in a lot of stuff nowadays. Kristen Wiig, I could kind of see that, but here's my whole thing though. Is
why do it at all?
Exactly. Do we really need this now? Especially for the fact that when you went to all the surviving cast members of the Ghostbusters,
Who have said they're on board for another one.
Well, some of them did, some of them didn't.
Murray has said he'd be willing to do it for the right script.
For the right script. Right?
Aykroyd has said he's been willing to do it for the right script. Ernie Hudson just wants the work.
Yeah, I don't blame him whatsoever.
Annie Potts is more than willing to come back.
So, do we get anything like? Is it going to be a complete reboot? Is it going to be maybe a continuation or anything like that? It's pretty much all in the air what to expect from this movie, and they haven't even begun filming yet. They're expected to start filming this summer, so we're not going to see this probably till like summer 2016.
Have they announced if anybody from the original is involved?
This is the only 4 cast that they've announced.
Well, it's funny. They're talking about also on reboots, and I was reminded by a post by Shadar in the chat. They're looking to redo or to bring back, for lack of a better term, Indiana Jones with Chris Pratt playing the role of Indy.
Which I'm perfectly fine
I'm
with.
actually not that. Yeah, I'm okay with that. I mean, if you're gonna do it, at least it's not freaking Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah, just retcon everything after 4.
Well, no, and you don't even necessarily have the retcon, because the whole thing about on the whole thing of doing an Indiana Jones, now that Harrison Ford's as far along as he is the whole idea of the Indiana Jones movies was the 1950s pulp serials.
Mm-hmm.
So it makes sense that you can do additional things, and if you're gonna pick if you're gonna pick an actor from modern age to play that role, that
I think it could
isn't
work.
Harrison Ford, you could do a hell of a lot worse than Chris Pratt.
Very true, and especially, I mean, he's already proven not only his comedic chops in Parks and Recreation, his comedy and his action ability in Guardians of the Galaxy, and then coming up as this, I guess, park ranger for Jurassic World. And I mean, even in this one screenshot of it, he kind of starts having like that indie look, that young indie look.
Yeah, I'm looking at that version of Chris Pratt and I'm going, holy crap, that is so not the guy who started on Parks and Rec.
Oh no, not at all.
I mean, he's even though he had bulked up and lost a grip ton of weight for Guardians, his face is even more trim in Jurassic World.
Right.
I mean, the boy's been working the hell out.
Yeah, and I think at this point, it's kind of necessary for Disney to do this because, I mean, with Disney buying everything, with Disney buying everything Lucas, which, for the past few years, we've been focusing all on Star Wars, for good reason. So what's Disney going to do with this other major property? It's a great time for them to go ahead and reboot it.
Well, true, but the thing with, and it is a great idea for them to reboot it, but I wonder how much they have to clear through Spielberg. Because Lucasfilm was Spielberg, or Indy was Spielberg and Lucas.
True.
So what's Spielberg's bite in this, I wonder?
But
if you're going to do it, at least they're not going with frickin', oh god, some other derp as Indy, because I think
for
Chris
a while
Pratt has the ability to do it.
Chris Pratt definitely has the ability, much more so than...
At least he can go with The Rock,
or like Bradley Cooper or something like that.
Bradley Cooper kicked ass in American Sniper.
You saw that movie, huh? Was it actually that good?
I haven't seen all of it, but
Okay.
I've seen a lot of it, and I've been listening to interviews and reading about it. I want to see the full thing.
Okay.
Now, the character himself, I'm kind of leaning towards the general consensus that he was a sociopath, sociopathic individual, but you kind of have to be a sniper. But I think that Cooper's portrayal, from what I've seen of it, from like the 40 odd minutes I've seen, did he get nominated for this?
I don't know.
Because if he didn't, he should have.
Okay. I'll have to take a look at it then.
Yeah, I want to see the full thing in the theater. I genuinely want to see it.
But if I had to choose Bradley Cooper over, Bradley Cooper or Chris Pratt, it'd be Chris Pratt every single time.
Oh yeah, totally.
For Indiana Jones.
Completely.
So, I love Shadar in the chat. And why are you rebooting Indiana Jones? Because of the money. Just imagine.
Let's be honest, it's the money.
Because they'll reboot it, they can turn it into another franchise, they can spend a few $1 million and completely renovate the ride.
And they can beat up on the Nazis some more.
Which brings more people into the park, and then you can have, Harrison Ford be like Indy's dad or something like that, passing the torch. First it was Sean Connery, then it's...
No, don't. They tried that shit with Shia LaBeouf and it didn't work.
Yeah, I know.
Then we got goddamn interdimensional aliens. I mean...
Yeah, well, then did you know that you could survive a nuclear blast by sitting in a lead-lined?
You can get blown up in a fridge. Yeah,
that was hilariously stupid. But you know what? It was
funny.
It was funny.
I mean, I had already checked my brain at the door at that point.
Well, I want to jump tracks a little bit.
Sure.
We've always, the past, I would say, year, there's been a lot of focus on comic book adaptations. We've talked about tons and tons of times with movies.
Yeah, especially on TV.
And that's one thing with TV. You have Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and then you have also Agent Carter. You have the amazing Constantine, which is thankfully doing better now in its new time frame. You have the Marvel...
Arrow, which is actually good. It's not the comic, but it's good.
It's still good for what it is. You
Flash
have the Flash,
is good.
which is good.
Gotham.
Yeah, there's always the... Yeah. let's not talk about.
By the
that.
way, there's some good stuff going, but continue,
okay.
please.
And then of course you have Marvel's deal with Netflix for those 4 series. You know,
Those are
starting
supposed to be
with
hitting soon, aren't they?
in late 2015, Jessica Jones, Daredevil, a couple others I forget.
Looking forward to I'm looking forward to Daredevil and to Iron. Is it Iron Fist or?
I think
it was Iron Fist.
Yeah. I'm actually looking forward to Jessica Jones because the villain for that series has already been casted.
Who is it? Casted? You mean cast?
Cast, whatever. Grammar is not my strong suit. It's David Tennant, Doctor Who.
Whoa, wait a minute. He's the bad guy for that series?
David Tennant has been confirmed to join the cast.
Nice. Okay, that'll get me watching it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd watch it anyway because I have Netflix, but...
So we'll see how that all turns out.
Speaking of superhero adaptations and things that might have been, I saw online recently, and apparently this is the comic episode, sort of. A Russian site has posted the full pilot of the Wonder Woman TV series.
Oh, the one that was like
with oh God, what was her name? She's on Shield now. As Mockingbird, but
yeah, I know who you're talking about. Yeah,
I forget her name. She was Lady J in the last. Not Lady J. Was she Lady J or Scarlet? In the last G.I. Joe movie.
So that person has been leaked. Did you actually watch it yet?
Yes.
Was it good?
I could see why it didn't make it. I could see that a lot of people would have been pissed off. I think that picking her as Wonder Woman was good. She was athletic enough. She fit the look. She fit the role. She wasn't toothpick thin. She actually was a real female and athletic. And the thing is that it was a bit dark. Like she was not against killing people. In fact, did.
Ooh.
Which is where a lot of people were like, yeah, that's not Wonder Woman. It's like, excuse me, she's a freaking Amazon warrior. People are going to die. At least everyone she killed was trying to kill her.
There's that.
You know? But there was some stuff about it that was dumb. Like, she owns a company called Themyscira Industries. Yeah. I mean, there's some really stupid stuff in there. But if you get a chance, Screen Rant, I think, put up the link to it.
The link to it? Okay.
If you get a chance, check it out. It actually wasn't bad. It's a what could have been. But that being said, I'm glad she's on Shield instead.
Okay.
But it was a neat show. Carrie Elways was in it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll go find
as her
this now.
accountant or CEO or something. The guy she hired to be the CEO. And Carrie Elways is not aging very well, unfortunately.
Oh, well.
Okay, sorry. Tangent topic.
No worries.
Let's go back
with all the comic stuff going on. You have, it's pretty. Almost every major network has something out there. Apparently, Fox isn't done. They came out with the announcement and said, yes, we are working on an XMen TV series, and I went, cool. Bring back the cartoon series. I love the cartoon series.
Yeah,
it was amazing.
The cartoon I liked. Yeah, really.
No.
Okay,
who? It was. Shoot, who voiced Wolverine in that one? I forget.
Oh, crap, I don't remember.
Was it Hamill?
No, it wasn't Hamill.
No.
I don't
but
think it was
no,
Hamill.
X-Men
I'll find out.
is going to have a live-action TV series in development, and my question is, why?
My question is, which X-Men are they bringing into it? Since the Marvel Cinematic and Marvel TV universes are loosely linked, they already have X-Men.
See, here's the crazy thing, though. Fox makes this announcement that they're developing a live-action TV series of X-Men. When they don't have the rights to the X-Men characters for TV. Marvel,
they only have film rights.
They only have the film rights, so they have to go talk to Marvel. And now I'm guessing they're trying to get public backing for it, and I'm kind of hoping this is going to backfire. Because, I mean, yes, in the X-Men universe, there are literally hundreds of mutants that you could choose from to create an offshoot. But if you use the title X-Men, you it comes along with the expectation of certain, characters being involved. And if you're doing all of this stuff, time hopping and everything within the movies, do you try to keep that somewhere in the same universe, or are you going to try to split off and do what DC does and say the TV universe and the movie universe are completely separate?
And they're not, and neither is related to the comics.
Right. So, I don't know. Apparently, this version is actually, hopefully, if it gets picked up, will be run by the two main producers of the hit series 24. So, how many times am I going to see a clock appear somewhere?
How many times are they going to split screen the action?
Beam.
I mean,
Beam.
how many?
Beam.
Yeah. That gimmick went on for a while because it even showed up in a couple movies.
Mm-hmm. I still laugh at the fact that 24 is apparently still going to be coming back for yet another season, but without Kiefer Sutherland, which
I was going to say the second season kind of tanked, didn't it?
Yeah, well, but the last one they did in like the UK. So I didn't watch it though, but I don't know. Do we really need an X-Men TV series? I mean, they're kind of tanking right now with Gotham, so.
Yeah, but Gotham's DC, well, it is DC, but I mean it's Warner Brothers. It's not Fox. So, hang on. So I'm trying to find out who did.
So I don't know. I look at something like this, and there's already so many adaptations out there.
Cathal J. Dodd.
Why is that not? That does not sound familiar at all.
Doesn't sound familiar to me either.
Oh well. But I look at something like this, and yes, NBC's already came out and admitting that they greenlit Constantine because they wanted to jump on the comic bandwagon. But I, for one, am happy they did because they've done a damn good job at it. But then you get other things like Gotham that are.
Gotham would be great if it wasn't in Gotham.
If it was just another,
if you pulled Bruce Wayne and Selena Kyle completely out of the formula,
and then add dung, then you got another Law and Order series.
Yeah, dung.
Just bring Dick Wolf in to put his name on the executive
bring
producer.
in Dick Wolf and basically turn it into the Sopranos in Gotham, because that's basically, I mean, all the
Law
interesting storylines. That's where they're based.
Mm-hmm.
It's all Penguin coming to power. That part's kind of cool, but it's not Gotham. Like I said, pull Selena and oh god, did you see the crap with Selena and Bruce when they snuck out of the house?
I never got past
when the assassins tried to come in and they looked like they were the League of Assassins, and it's just like, oh, please don't tell me that chick's supposed to be Talia, because if that chick's supposed to be Talia, then we got some serious cradle robbing going on in the future.
All right, then. I'm going to take your word for it for the sole fact that I stopped watching Gotham at episode, 3. So
yeah, you did miss much.
Now, other series like Flash and what I've kept up with it.
Flash I've been enjoying.
So, well, we'll get to that stuff
yes.
in a moment and whatnot. So, yeah, do we really need another X-Men or another comic book TV series? I say no.
I'm willing to give it a shot, as long as they don't go too far astray.
Okay.
I mean, if they do it like they did with Constantine, although the problem with X-Men period is the X-Men comics, kind of as cool as they are, like to retcon themselves often. How many times have various characters died? Wolverine's dead right now. How long is that going to last?
I say maybe another month at that.
Is Xavier back from the dead yet?
He likes to jump from host to host,
Well, yeah, I mean, friggin' last I heard, Red Skull's got his brain, supposedly. I mean, no, it was
Well, that's
bizarre.
all going to be changing, as we're tangent hopping as always. The entire Marvel comic universe is going into a massive bit of flux over the summer.
Yeah, it's going to be Secret Wars all over again.
And they're bringing everyone into this whole battle world thing. And not only are some comic series are just going to be characters are going to die. They're just going to be, gone. We're going to stop publishing those. And then a couple will start in the middle of this, we call Battle Royale for existence.
Yeah.
Let's take all the universes. Let's throw them all into this one giant world. Let them all try to figure things out.
Throw them in a one giant world, hit frappe.
Yeah. and then say that this is
Will it blend?
God, will it blend the Marvel universe? Earth 616, don't breathe this. No.
Ooh, Marvel dust.
You
For those of you who
take
don't know
off
what
the
we're
top and he
talking
goes
about-
Excelsior. No.
For those of you who don't know what we're talking about, there's a web series called Will It Blend that's put on by Blend Tech Blenders. It's hilarious. They've blended iPhones, iPads, Chuck Norris.
They've blended so many things with it. It's a fun little
Definitely
series.
check it out. But anyway, sorry. Back to show.
Do we really need? Okay, first off,
No, we don't need an X-Men series.
we don't need the X-Men series, and we really
But
don't.
Fox wants the money and doesn't want to give it back to Marvel.
True.
That's basically, in my eyes, I see this. Honestly,
just
I
the
see
money.
this as Fox saying, Disney.
Exactly.
Honestly, that's what I see.
There is one TV show that's coming stateside that I'm very, very thankful for.
Yeah, I've heard a lot about it.
I've
too.
watched this series since season A, and I'll explain that in a moment. And it's finally being or soon to be heading stateside, thanks to BBC America. I'm talking about a quiz show from the UK called QI, and it's hosted as always, by Stephen Fry. On the right, one of the regular panel hosts on the left is Alan Davies, a comedian over there in the UK. And with these panel shows, essentially, you have a host, you have almost like a permanent guest, guest spot, and then you have 3 or 4 other guests that come in every once in a while. You have comedians, you have sometimes politicians, other stars. I know Jeremy Clarkson from Top Gear's popped on it a few times, and each season. All the topics for each season start with a certain letter. They started with season 1, so season A. They're currently on K.
Wow, it's been going that long.
It's been going for that long, and it's so much fun. Not only do you get a bunch of comedians there just having a blast. There's nothing really truly scripted except for what Stephen Fry says. But honestly, you've learned some really intriguing things as well.
Well, now here's a question: Are they gonna bring it over and run it from basically simulcast it, or are they gonna do what they did with Penn and Teller Fool Us, where they're gonna take a show that's 4 or 5 years old, repackage it, and say, "Oh, brand new show with Penn and Teller"? No, it's not. I watched that episode 4 years ago online.
No, they're actually jumping back a bit. They're actually going to broadcast season J, which actually aired in 2012 in the UK. It was actually a very funny season.
Okay.
They're usually like an hour to like an hour and 10 minutes long, so they'll cut it down for commercials and whatnot. But it is a lot of fun. I believe a lot of the jokes and whatnot will translate stateside. If you have no idea what this is all about, honestly, just go into YouTube, type in QI, and pick a season and go.
Okay, I'm gonna have to do that because I haven't seen the show. I've heard about it, but I've never seen it.
It's a lot of fun. You learn some crazy stuff, and you laugh a hell of a lot because they make the audience, or sorry, not the audience, but the comedians have to answer questions. Literally, it's Stephen Fry goes, what is the unladen wind speed of a what's the wind speed of
the
an
average
unladen
velocity
swallow?
of an unladen
Yeah.
swallow?
And they literally have to answer some way, and then he'll come back and say they're either right or wrong, and then give the complete answer, and give a little demonstration as well. So you learn something and you have fun. It's edutainment. Yeah. So yeah, it's going to start very soon, actually. Thursday, February 19th. They're going to start off with 3 back-to-back episodes starting at 8 p.m. Eastern, so, 5 Pacific, 6 Pacific. Well worth it. And if you don't like it, let me know, and I won't bring it up again.
Fair enough.
Should we get to the big news that you were happy about?
Yeah, give me 2 seconds. Because, yeah, I am happy about this. I am very happy about this.
There was a recent announcement, and it's funny, Michael talked about the announcement, but I laughed at how this announcement was made. It was not during a press conference, it was not during a news post, but it was attached to an image on Instagram.
Yeah, basically, there's there's a group called the Gorillaz, which was a joint venture between Damon Albarn's of Blur rather, and a comic artist illustrator whose name I completely do not remember. I apologize.
Jimmy Hewlett.
What?
Jamie Hewlett.
Yeah, that's right, Jamie Hewlett. Thank you. Where they basically created a virtual band, a band that didn't really exist. Well, it existed. It was Damon Albarn's and a whole bunch of friends. Like the first one had Dan the Automator Nakamura as part of it. And they've done 3 albums so far.
A number
I
of
have
singles.
All 3. Love them. And it's real experimental stuff. And it goes the whole range.
It does.
Well, there was a lot of thought and a lot of fear after Plastic Beach, which was their last one, that was the end. It wasn't going to happen anymore. It was done. Even though and it tells a story, by the way. There's a story between, going across the albums. And apparently they're doing another one, or at least strongly implying they're doing another one, because Jamie Hewlett, it was Jamie, right?
Yes.
Posted this on Instagram. The only, and that's Murdoch from the Gorillaz,
and
that's Noodle. So either he's got a bug up his butt and decided to draw some more Gorillaz stuff.
Well,
or another project's in the works.
He did reply because someone asked him. A ton of people asked him questions when he made this post on Instagram, and he replied with 3 words: "Yes, Gorillaz returns."
Yes.
So yes, there is another one coming out. So yeah, now this could be years off. It could be next week. Who the hell knows?
Well, if he's just now doing the artwork, I figure we probably won't see it till summer. But we haven't seen a new Blur album in forever either. So Albarn's got to be doing something.
But yeah, I was gonna say, which one would you want to have faster? Would you want to have a Gorillaz album first, or would you have a new Blur album?
Totally.
Yeah, exactly.
Totally.
And when you can throw in hip hop to jazz to a gospel choir to hard rock.
Well, that's about the only thing they haven't done is metal.
Yeah, they really haven't.
I mean, they've done a lot of experimental stuff. They've done a lot of
Gorillaz X Baby Metal.
They even did some funk, like Parliament Funkadelic type stuff.
It was really good.
So, speaking of which, Parliament Funkadelic, George Clinton of Parliament Funkadelic released a memoirs book this week.
He did. I was hearing about it on NPR the other day. I'm kind of curious about
and they interviewed him. It was kind of awesome. I didn't know Flashlight actually had a story to it. I just thought it was an awesome funk song.
Yeah, when you pick this guy's brain, it's not like
what's left of it.
Whatever was left out of a
20 years in
drug-induced
an acid
haze.
trip.
Yeah, exactly. Well, before we get to what we're watching, I do want to make an announcement on something we found that's online and now available for free, which is actually is a very nice thing. Google Earth. If you just download the program and app on your phone,
Earth.google.com.
It's fairly amazing what you can do with this program.
It's really fun to see how its 3D mode fucks stuff up. When it works great, but sometimes it just does not interpret stuff very well.
Yeah.
It tries to dynamically generate 3D content.
And of stuff that really wasn't designed to look like that.
Okay,
why does this river look like it's like in 4 dimensions? It's
or you have buildings that look like the one. Okay, remember all the crap that happened with Apple Maps when it first came out?
Oh yeah.
Do you remember the one of that really horribly deformed bridge? That was a 2D image. Every now and then, Google's images are correct, the images, but in order to help visualize stuff, it'll dynamically generate 3D content from the map. And sometimes you end up with results that look like that one bridge. But this program is like a $400. Well, okay, there's a free version.
Which allows you
but
to
if you
zoom
want to do
around.
any virtual tours or stuff, that's like $400 a year. Ha! But wait, Jason.
Not anymore. If you sign up for a license and you basically make sure your PC or Mac is compatible with it, you can receive the pro version of Google Earth completely free. No more $400 a year.
Yeah.
So that's actually
I will get that.
Amazing. Now
I love playing on Google Earth.
I know I have an account from when it was first launched. I know you do as well, Michael.
Yep.
And many of you may actually have a copy or a license yourself. You just didn't really know it yet.
I used Google Earth to explore Portland before Nikki and I went and visited.
Which is a great tool.
I went down to street level and in 3D was driving through Portland.
That is awesome. So literally you can just go to google.com/earth and you can download the program, sign up for the license if you haven't already, and check out all the cool features, the different touring models, and both here and abroad, and just have fun with it.
Definitely play with the 3D. There's some fun stuff that happens in 3D.
Oh yes.
It looks like a Fincher nightmare at some points.
Yeah, there's a few that just really didn't work.
I went exploring Tokyo with it. I spent like last week actually.
Mm-hmm.
I spent like 2 hours zooming through Akiba. By the way,
how recent were those?
As of 2012, the radio building is no more. It's down. I don't know if it's back up yet, but in the Google Earth satellite maps, it's down. But my ramen shop's still there.
Good, because that ramen shop was amazing.
Yeah.
If that goes down, I'll be like, yeah.
But it was fun because like anywhere a car can get, they managed to get.
Mm-hmm. And given that some of those city streets can be very confusing at times.
Yeah, no.
Especially when you're like, this amazing restaurant you want to go to, you have to check it out. What street is it on? Well, you can get to this street and then hit this corner and then go through these back alleys for like 10 minutes and then you'll find it.
You know a city is confusingly laid out when taxi drivers who've been driving in the city for 20 plus years still have to put in to the GPS to get there.
Exactly.
There was last time we went there, we rode in a guy with taxi who had been driving for over 20 years and he still had to put in GPS coordinates. Well, and that's because it's not laid out on a grid.
Mm-hmm.
You know, most cities are laid out on a grid system. Tokyo was deliberately not laid out on a grid, so that there is no direct path to the palace.
Exactly. But still a great place to visit.
Get Google Earth.
Yes.
It's fun.
Well, that brings
this
us...
episode brought to you by Google.
Google and Disney and Marvel, and which is Disney, and... Yeah. Well, Michael, what have you been watching lately?
I have not been watching much, to be honest with you.
Okay.
I was taking a programming class, and notice the word was, and it was kicking my butt.
Are you gonna try to stick with it, or
I'm gonna continue trying to learn the language. I'm just not gonna take the MIT course for it.
Fair enough. Well, it is an MIT course. So.
Well, yeah, but I mean, and it isn't a programming course per se. It's algorithmic thinking, using. Although that's what their core is. It's learning to think algorithmically using Python. But the name of the course is Intro to Computer Science and Programming in Python.
Okay.
That's the name of the class. That's not what the class is.
It's more like it's Intro to Python. If you already know Python,
we're going to teach you to walk with these basic algorithms, and then, we're going to teach you to crawl rather, and now we want you to sprint to the other side of the field. It's like, but shouldn't I be walking somewhere in here? I mean, they just started dumping algorithms on us.
Gotcha.
Okay, here's an algorithm. Here's what it does on paper. Now code it. And I'm like, I'm not a dumb person.
I had a program.
But you want me to code a Fibonacci sequence off the top of my head?
Have fun with that.
Yeah, no.
I remember.
So I've gone back to the baby Python class.
I had a programming class in college, and I had a teacher. He was very cool, but when it came to the homework assignments, he was a bit technical, and also, his mind was probably a joke, but to me, he was a complete douche for doing it. He would literally go, "Here's your assignment," and he would throw up an algorithm on the board. And if you solve it, it gives you the page of in your textbook of what you need to do for the next class.
Oh, that's
And I was
evil.
like, "Oh, you son of a..."
That is freaking evil.
Now, with that being done, it forced me to learn the damn program.
That's true. But it's no worse than the UCLA or the USC professor who basically puts homework assignments on the Big Bang Theory.
Yeah, okay.
Because he's their consultant and writes every time you see a formula on the board in their apartment, it's written by this professor. They're legitimate. They're not just making shit up on that whiteboard in their apartment. It's legitimate
Oh yeah,
science, and he uses it to make sure his students are watching the show.
that's messed up. That's really messed up.
So no, I unfortunately, after spending a large amount of time on those classes, I had to back out of that class because it was
Kicking your ass.
well, I was way above. I mean, I tried to jump in too deep. I need to step back and go at it a little slower.
No worries.
We learn. I haven't taken a class in. I graduated college in what, 2000? It's been a while.
I graduated high school in 2000.
Yeah, bite me. Especially considering I was 33. But so I haven't been doing a lot of watching.
Okay.
Unfortunately, because I was working on that, and I only recently stepped out of that and dropped down a class.
No worries. For me,
Fortran was fun. And Night started the chat room. I took Fortran. I loved Fortran. I loved BASIC. C++, not as much, but I was pretty good at it.
enjoy your link lists. Yeah.
Yeah. Fortran was a cakewalk, man.
And then of course there's C#, which is basically C++ with a couple Windows identifiers and whatnot. So
Yeah.
for me, I was saying at the beginning, I didn't have access to my Crunchyroll fix, so I went to my Funimation fix and found that there was actually several titles out there that they're simulcasting that when I saw the trailers for it, I was not interested in the least. But when I basically earlier this week, I was like, I have all this free time. Screw it, let's just see what happens. Let's roll the dice and watch the first 3 episodes of these series. And I came back fairly surprised at a couple of them, and others are just like, what the hell is this shit?
Okay.
The weirdest one, I have to say, was Assassination Classroom. Okay, so let me paint this picture for you. In the near future, could be today, that's fine. The moon, about 70% of the moon is obliterated. So you have this just giant crescent moon.
Damn those Nazis for mishandling the Alien 3.
And riding, they're having too much fun riding their T-Rexes everywhere.
Dark side of the moon.
God, I love that movie.
That movie was awesome.
And the person who was responsible for this is this alien. He has a big, happy face, yellow head, and a bunch of tentacles. And he made the announcement to the Japanese government that he is going to destroy the Earth in 1 year. But he has some caveats. It basically is, I'm going to do this, but if you let me teach this class of students for a full year, if they're able to kill me within that year, obviously won't destroy the Earth. If they fail, then the Earth... Oh, it is the weirdest freaking thing I've watched in some time.
That's right up there with shooting yourself with Persona, where you shoot yourself in the head to summon your critter. I mean...
And it even gets to the point where it's like, I'll provide you with BB pellets and specialty knives that can actually hurt me, because normal stuff doesn't hurt him. Oh, and he can also travel at Mach 20.
Mach 20?
20. He's like, it's lunchtime. I'm gonna go to China for some dim sum.
Yeah. Okay, I'm back.
So, but what's funny is that he's actually like a really good teacher to these students, and so he's weirdly like helping these misfits in this backwoods class improve themselves. But every time they're trying to kill him, so it's a weird series. But I have to say, it's been entertaining for the first 3 episodes. It got me to the point where I was like, okay, this is weird enough that I'll go ahead and actually watch this.
I just lost... Okay, am I still with you? Because I just lost connection on...
I could see you.
Okay, yeah. My internet just hiccuped.
No worries. So give you an idea of what the teacher looks like, which they call him Koro-sensei, is,
Oh my God.
That's the alien. And it's like
he has a pair of ovaries for arms. What the hell is that?
It's kind of weird. They really haven't explained that all too much. So, yeah, it's a weird series. It's definitely way out there, but it's a bunch of kids trying to kill their alien teacher before they destroy the world.
Wow.
all while improving their own self-esteem at the same time. God damn it, Japan.
What the hell, Japan? Okay.
Yeah.
Whatever works.
So,
although it's not the first time Japan's done effed up anime.
This is true. There's a couple of out there that I like. Laughing Under the Clouds is actually pretty good. Maria the Virgin Witch is pretty damn funny.
There's a new one I saw. What is her name? Canon. Wakashima Canon is doing a theme for a series that I haven't seen yet. I think it's called Selector. Are you familiar with it?
No, I'm not. Oh, Selector Wixos?
Yes.
Yes.
Is it any good?
I've seen a couple
of the themes are pretty cool. Of course,
the themes are pretty good.
I like Wakashima Canon, so.
That one is. I've only seen the first 3 episodes. I know there's a lot more available. I'm willing to go back and actually continue the series. It's been a while, to be honest. It's been like at least a couple months that I've watched those episodes. So, me being able to what's it called? Comment on them for a while. I had to go back and rewatch them. So
okay,
but I do remember actually going back to it or thinking I should go back and actually watch it. So
okay.
But the main thing I've been watching lately is something that I picked up on Blu-ray a few weeks ago, and I just never watched it until literally like yesterday. And it was actually Son of Batman.
Dude, that is an awesome movie.
So I
picked it up the day it came out.
Oh, you did? we literally Jess and I were in Best Buy a couple weeks ago, and it was on there for like $10. I was like, buy.
Wow, that's sad because that's a really good show. That's one of their better adaptations.
And it is because I remember reading the graphic novel a while ago, and then watching this. It was a little jarring at first to watch
They
Batman.
took a few liberties.
Yes, with the casting, I will say it was kind of odd hearing not Kevin Conroy's voice as Batman.
They've been doing that a lot. The last few Batman movies, it hasn't been Conroy. I mean, for Dark Knight Returns, it was freaking Peter Weller, which I'm still having a hard time wrapping my brain around that one. Son of Batman, they did really good. I was very impressed, especially when him and Grayson go at it.
God, that was brilliant.
I loved that scene.
Oh, so good, so good. I will have to say, Stuart Allen voiced Damian brilliantly. I appreciate that.
I hope he continues into voice acting because the kid's good.
He is. And I will say a lot of the dialogue that I enjoyed, going back and forth between Damian and Bruce Wayne, carried over to this movie. And it worked very well. Some of the fight sequences, I could see... For me, I can really enjoy them, but every once in a while I'll see that, animation trick that are trying to skip doing something really detailed just to get to the next scene. And I look at that and I'm like, but that's just me being ultra nitpicky.
Yeah, well, yeah. You got to move the story along somehow, right? Exactly.
But yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it. If you guys haven't watched it yet, you guys should definitely go check it out. This came out in last May? I only just saw it like yesterday, so I'm way behind the times. That's pretty much it from me. I know next week I'll be talking about Grim Fandango, so.
Yeah, it's interesting they're doing that. I'm looking forward to it.
The remaster version is available on PS4, Xbox One, and on Steam for like $15.
Nice.
So I will probably, or I will hope to pick that up sometime this week, and I'll have a review of it for next week's episode. But that's it for me. Did you want anything else to add to this, Michael? Or
no, I think I'm okay. Well, no, I'm not going to do that. No, I'm good.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much as always for joining us. I know it's on a Saturday. You guys can enjoy the Super Bowl or whatever you're going to be.
Puppy Bowl.
The Puppy Bowl.
Actually, I'm going to be doing Final Fantasy Bowl. So
good man. I need to jump into that as well. So stay tuned for a short post show. Obviously, we will not be here on Sunday, but the following Sunday, which is the 8th. Michael, do we have anything blocking us from doing an episode that week?
We will be here.
All right. So stay tuned for that. And yeah, thank you for hanging out with us for From My Mother's Basement. I am Jason.
And I am Michael.
And we will see you guys next week. Take it easy, everybody.